Good morning. Good afternoon? No, it's not quite afternoon yet. It's morning. It's still morning. 5 minutes to 12. Welcome to the Wayward Widow. I was just watching a 3-minute video from Lori Conway. Yeah, it's noontime. Talk about broken. I tell you what, she's showing what I'm feeling. I have a headache to beat the band. I mean, I've got a screamer of a headache. I fixed my coffee early, super early, with the hopes it would open up blood vessels. So far, it hasn't. I'm trying to stay away from ibuprofen. I only took ibuprofen once in the last, week or so. I went to CVS this morning and I got my prescription. And I stopped at the corner store and picked up something that they had on sale that I missed yesterday. While I was out, I got that done. And yeah. Let me read you the card real quick. If it's out of your hands, it deserves freedom from your mind too. And the action is write down a list of things that have been bugging your mind. Cross off the ones that you cannot control and work on the ones that you can control. That's absolutely the serenity prayer, right? One of the Stoics said, if you can change it, don't worry about it. If you can't change it, don't worry about it. A couple comments that I want to address. One is, there's no sense in talking about Kenny anymore. Kenny's not going to move in. So it would be wonderful if my son showed up here and moved in. But he's just gone through so much, and he has to walk his own path, you know. Someone asked about medication for me. I am on medication. I'm on Ativan. I've been on a benzo for 37 years or something like that. And so I am on medication. You also asked about the pictures that were behind me, and I'm not sure which pictures you were talking about. So if you're talking about these, this is just a grouping of pictures that I got at Five Below for $5. And they're just like all ferns and a coffee cup and a little sign and just different things. And I liked it because of the green, which kind of matched the plants and all that. If you're talking about these pictures here, Sky picked out these two. This is a geisha woman. It's like a Chinese or Japanese Buddhist picture. And this is the Heart Sutra. Sky was a Soto Zen Buddhist, and the Heart Sutra was his favorite. And I got these from Amazon. And then these other two pictures are just pictures. This one here and this one here are actually from a calendar. I had a really pretty seasonal calendar, and I just love these two pictures. And so I tore them off the calendar and I hung them here because I just thought that they fit. This is the altar that I had set up for Sky, that he would sit meditation and all that. Someone said about the woman who said about being married twice and losing 2 partners. I can't imagine. I said this in another video. Like, going through this once is awful. Going through it twice, I can't imagine, but I can't understand why you're saying you won't do it again. I hear you. For the gentleman who's on disability and you have panic and anxiety, me too. I'm on disability for panic and anxiety. I worked my whole life all the way up until the very end of 2015, from when I was young, 1 or 2 jobs. And then I had a huge breakdown. And it took me 2.5, almost 3 years to get my disability through. But I got it through. And so I understand that part, and I understand the loss part. You have a loss and you feel you're falling apart. I get you. Feel free to reach out to me. If you want to talk to me off here, and if you have Facebook Messenger, I'm under Poet Quinn, Quinn. Send me a message. I'll talk with you there. If you want to talk, if you feel you need that extra support, because I understand both things, the loss and the anxiety, I do. If you don't have Messenger, you can email me at poetmoon10@gmail.com. So POETMOON, the number 10@gmail.com, and I'll write you back. On that same note, this headache, if anyone messages me and I respond, because I will respond to everybody who messages me, I will respond, unless it's something rude and, then I just delete it. But that's never happened yet. But if I respond and I don't get anything back and some days go by, then what I do is I will archive your message. I'll just take it off my list. Because sometimes people message me and then I think maybe they get uncomfortable. Maybe they don't want to talk about what they thought they wanted to talk about. They just don't want to talk. And so they don't respond anymore. So I just archive those messages so they're not sitting on my list. So that's what I do. If there's radio silence, I just okay, we'll just slide you over here, because I want to be present for the people that are present for me, if that makes any sense. Someone asked about the same person, I'm sorry, and I go down the list and I don't always catch all the names. Some of the names I just know because people are, there all the time. Like Amy, you and I have been together on YouTube a long time, right? You've been here for me for years. I got my rice sock. And when your dad died, I remembered when your dad died, but I had no idea how bad that feels until now. So I want to apologize if I wasn't really there for you at that time, because I just didn't know, but I know now. So I'm so glad your sister's with you, but I do understand the fact that even when there's somebody with you, it still doesn't change up your loss, and I am so sorry. The person who asked about the pictures and the meds and Kenny and all, you asked about my family, my siblings and my kids. My family never got along. It's just that simple. 3 of my siblings are dead. My 3 oldest siblings passed away, and my other 3 remaining, they're kind of local, but we haven't talked for years, and I don't think that they talk. That's just how it's been. I mean, my family never got along, never. I was the product of an affair my mom had, so out of 7 kids, I was the only blue-eyed, blonde-haired, skinny, 98% Irish girl with 2% Sephardic Jew in her. And my siblings didn't much like me, and they let me know it. So that's that. There's nothing more to talk about there. As far as my kids are living their own lives. 5 of them live out of state, and the other 2 are local. My youngest son is 25 and he lives a couple blocks away. And we had a falling out. It was my fault. We had a falling out, and he's so intuitive and he's so smart. And him and I homeschooled him from when he was in 3rd grade to when he graduated. He's lived with his dad since he was 14 and he's 25 now. He's smart as a whip, great guy. I'd love to talk to him, and I have reached out a bunch of times. But sometimes we have to make decisions for our own mental health and say, I got to step back for me. And that's what he's done. And I've said that in a bunch of videos. The other kids that are out of state, they're married, got kids, got jobs, got careers, got houses, there's grandkids, there's great-grandkids, and they're living their lives. So things are not perfect. And there has been communication, and it doesn't always work. And that's all that can be said there. It's just, there's nothing more to be said. Somebody gets mad because I'm talking to this person, and somebody gets mad because I didn't do this or I did do that. Well, we're just going to let it at that. So got to the store, got my script. I did ask when I was down there if that script could be delivered. And they said, yes, it could be, but it has to be delivered by the post office because it's a controlled substance. But they did tell me that somebody else could come in and pick it up for me. So one of my older friends could go in if I can't get in there and pick up my script. That's a once a month. They can't do a 90-day on a benzodiazepine, so I have to go every month to pick it up. Just given where I am anxiety-wise, next month I probably will have my friend stop in and pick it up for me. I'm not going to go up to the psychiatrist. I'm going to do telehealth. I made that decision because if I go up there, I'm going to have to leave the apartment, and I'm not up to leaving the apartment any time more than I have to right now. So I'm going to do telehealth. And if my psychiatrist says, I really want you to get back into therapy, then I'll get back into therapy. But we'll do that through telehealth too. So I pretty much have all my doctors and therapist stuff I can do through telehealth or phone call. My doctor is retiring at the end of August, on August 31st, and they'll switch me over to Sky's doctor, who's in the same practice. And so I'll have him, and he makes phone calls. He doesn't do telehealth. He does a regular phone call. Because he's so busy and he sees a lot of patients, I'll probably have to go up in person for the first visit, but then afterwards we'll just do phone calls. And the only thing he would be prescribing for me is my famotidine, which is my stomach medicine. It's Pepcid. That's all. That's the only medication I'm on, aside from the Ativan. And I'm almost 65. So that's pretty good, actually, when you think about it. I am going to set up grocery delivery through Walmart. I'm going to pay for the membership, and I'm going to set that up because I don't want to go to Walmart anymore, and I don't want to go to the corner store anymore unless it's an absolute emergency. So I'm going to go on my computer, I'm going to set it all up, and that's how I'm going to do that from here on out. I want to get to a place where I don't have to leave my apartment. Unless I want to take a walk around the block or I want to take a walk around the lake, I don't want to go out anymore. I don't want to leave here. Right now, I'm not at a place where I want to do that. So I have some paperwork that I have to read and make a decision on, something that just came up that I have to figure out. And I have to make the decision about the car. I talked to you guys about the car back in February. Do I keep it or don't I? Do I need a car? With the few places I go, is a car something that I need? Not really at this point, especially with telehealth and having groceries delivered. I don't know, like, there's enough credit in my car, especially now because I've made my payments. I'm down to, I think it's 9 payments are left on that lease. And the car goes back, it'll go back by December. So I could take the car up. They'll give me credit because there's such low miles. There's under 5,000 miles on that car. And I'm in my 3rd year of my lease, which just goes to show how little I drive. So there'll be credit, which will pay off the lease, and it will put that amount of money back into my monthly account, which I really need. So it's kind of a thing of, do you need your car or do you need your home? You know? And So with my over-the-counter card through my health insurance, I can use that card to use like Uber or Lyft. My head is really hurting. So if I had to get somewhere, I could do it that way. And I'm just looking at every way that I can not have to leave my home. At this stage in the game, with the fact that I don't have family and my kids aren't around me, and I don't have any friends here, and I don't. I don't. I have a sister-in-law, an ex-sister-in-law, who's very sweet, and she is recovering from some health things and doing very well. I'm super proud of her. And if she gets to a place where she's able to get out, I would consider meeting with her somewhere at a halfway point, but I don't know. We'll just have to see down the road for that. So I'm figuring my life is going to be just me from here on out. Like, I figure it's just going to be just me. There's not going to be anyone or any person or anything. And if I can get through this year, this lease, the rest of this lease, I paid June's rent. I'm paying July's rent this week. By the end of the week, I'll have July paid. And next May is already paid for because that's the last month's rent. So when we moved in, we paid first month's rent, last month's rent, and a hefty security deposit. So I won't have to pay that month. So paying June and paying July and May already paid for. That's 3 months out of the year. So there's nine more months left that I have to pay as far as the lease goes. And then I have to really look for another place that is much cheaper than this place. And it might even be out of state, I don't know. But I don't see me being able to stay here another year. So I'm adapting the best I can to being alone. I figure this is going to be it for me for literally for the rest of my life. I don't go out. I don't go to bars. I've said this. I'm not a social person. I'm not big on going into groups. And the more you're alone, the more you get used to being alone. You know, we adapt. We're like really strange creatures. And I've been alone for, tomorrow is 16 weeks since they carried my man out of here. And so 16 weeks, I've been on my own in this apartment, and I might have had, I don't know, my sister-in-law came over once, and then my old friend comes up once in a great while to have a coffee with me, but he's really busy, super busy. So it is just me, and so I'm adapting and to just staying alone. And so I want to set up my life for that, to not have to leave the apartment unless I make a decision that, you know, hey, maybe I want to take a walk. I thought that I would spend a lot of time outside this summer, but I'm finding it's really hard for me to get out the door at this point. And maybe that will change in time, and maybe it won't. I don't know. But I just know that I have to do a couple things to kind of make sure that I'm okay. So thank you for the comments, everyone. Thank you so much just for being here and being a part of what I'm going through and what so many other people are going through. They don't teach us. We're not taught how to do this, are we? There's no book. There's no school. There's no class. There's just a whole bunch of videos and things of people saying, one, it takes time. Two, get out and get fresh air. Meet up with people. Talk to your friends. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Do all those things. Talk to your doctor. All the things that we know that are really difficult to do, especially in the early, I would say, especially in the early stages. I'm hearing from some people that it's like upwards of 2 years before they really feel like they have any kind of balance in their lives. And I can understand that. The things that I got done, like right after Sky passed away, I did because, one, if I didn't do the things, who was going to do them? There's no one else here to make sure stuff got done. And two, I worked for 10 years in a trauma unit, in a surgical intensive care trauma unit. And I did 3 years working for a home health care company, taking care of seniors. There was tons of documentation, always. And everything needed to be documented, right away. And so that mentality has stayed with me like my whole life. Get things done. And so I've kept up pretty well. There's a couple things I've kind of put on the back burner, but it was okay for me to do that. So I'm going to go and see if I can't get rid of this headache. So take care the best you can. Give me some advice on the car. If you had a car and you drive it like once a week and you've had it for 3 years almost, and it only has 4,800 miles on it, and you have the ability for Uber and Lyft, and you have the ability to use the bus, would you keep the car with payments at $270 a month and you're on your own trying to get things done by yourself? Like, what would you do? Would you keep the car? Would you get rid of the car? What would you do? Give me your opinion. I need opinions. I need people to help me because I don't have my man anymore. So I need sound advice. I do. All right, you guys take care. Hang in there with me. There's a lot of us going through this. And for anybody who wants to reach out to me, Poet Quinn on Messenger. Just say, I'm from YouTube. I'm the person who wrote, so I know who I'm talking to. And, or email poetmoon10@gmail.com. I will get back to you. I will.